WWE Hall of Famer J.J. Dillon talks about the key to longevity in professional wrestling. Download the full episode, RickyMortonOnline.com. School of Morton podcast, episode number 3, features J.J. Dillon.
I was, like I say, 28 going on 29 when I started full-time. And so I realized that Father Time was not on my side, that if I was going to have any longevity in the business, you know, I couldn't have special matches on the card with Precious Paul Ellering for the rest of my life. So I had to start paying attention to the creative side of the business, to television production, to matchmaking. And a lot of guys focus on just which is nothing wrong with that, but just their match and being the best they could be, which I wanted to do that. But I looked at the bigger picture, knowing that the time would have to come where if I was going to have a future, that's the direction that would have to take. So every territory that I worked in, I was around some of the great minds in the business. I had a chance to work with Eddie Graham. I had a chance to work with Bob Geigel. I was around Fritz Von Erich and Red Bastien, around Johnny Weaver, Art Nelson. And everywhere that I went, I absorbed knowledge, kind of like a craftsman with your toolbox. The more tools you have in there, no matter what job is in front of you, if you have the tools and know how to use them, you got a better chance of being successful. And that was kind of my outlook. And just, you know, I was blessed to have the chance to work around some of the great minds and absorb their knowledge. And it ended up all of a sudden, you know, 20-some years goes by and I retire and then had longevity after. I was a vice president of talent relations for 8 years with Vince McMahon, and I'd started with Vince's father as a referee in college. So I went from McMahon to McMahon, and then ended up with Ted Turner's organization for 5 years, and my career wound down, and all of a sudden, you know, I looked some days, and here I am wearing 2 Hall of Fame rings. And when it all started with me, Hall of Fame was Cooperstown and baseball. There were no wrestling Hall of Fames. So I just am so thankful that I have been to make it in the business. And Ricky, you understand what I'm saying because you're from a business, you know, your family with the business. That you have to first you have to love it because it's not easy. And in the beginning, there's going to be a lot of disappointments. There's going to be speed bumps, and you can very easily get discouraged and say, "Oh man, this is not worth it for me." But if you love it and you hang in there and you persevere, there's people who will see that and want to help you. And then you get help from people, and then that's how your career goes. And then the one thing that you have no control over, and Ricky, you said this a little bit earlier, and it is so true. For guys that have had success in the business, they had the good fortune to have done all those other things, to have passion for the business, to persevere through the hard times, to learn from everybody around them. And then it's just a good fortune to be in the right place at the right time.
She said, Rama, Lama, Bama, Lama, rock and roll is